Ross, welcome back.
Thank you.
Welcome to the Demoted studio. I know you've been gallivanting around Lisbon in Portugal.
I am just the world's greatest Lisboner.
Fully. If you could maybe remove your sunglasses and just get serious for a second, that would be great. But I know they're sort of a part of your out of office identity.
These have been on. I think I actually have a suntan around my eyes at this point. Look at these. Watch this.
Oh, that's so you.
They fold all the way down.
Such a nerd. Just put them in your pocket, your coat pocket.
You know what? I will. Now that you say it, I will. I will.
And Ross, I received, as we do email and for our, Demoted partnerships and business, we've been known to do that. That's our primary form of communication. I did receive your out of office message while you were gone. And I'm not going to lie, it brought me a bit of pause. Yeah. And I would love if you could read your out of office message to the people in the voice that you were anticipating they would read it in.
Okay, I will do that.
Okay.
And let me just preface by saying this is incredibly Gen Z of me.
It's too much.
I was really excited at the time.
It's Gen Z, but you could also argue it's like out of touch millennial as well.
Totally. It's like a tinge of boomer in there.
And we'll let you guys decide. But Ross, what message did everyone receive who emailed you in the past 10 days?
Let me read it for you. The subject is Corp be sailing the 7 seas. So it says, this is what it says. Har, matey. I be traveling the world for the next handful of days. Me battery be needing a recharge. While I be having limited access to me email, I'll respond to the best of me ability. My return voyage be May 5th. Yarg! Corp. I wanted to do a pirate sketch for so long and I haven't found a way.
Am I missing? Is there like a huge pirate tie to Portugal?
Kind of actually.
There's
a lot of ships.
The Portuguese.
Actually.
In Shogun.
There's and I'm in episode 6. And by the way, I'm loving that show.
Loving it.
So goddamn good.
It honestly gives me the vibe of like that time you were high and called me with like the show you were writing.
Yes.
It's very similar to that.
Literally, it's fulfilling
the dream that you had. You're like, it's going to be super high budget, but I do have this dream.
Yeah.
Okay.
Mine's American. Mine takes place in the US of A though. But same idea. I guess Portuguese, there's some sailors and shit. And that's how they got to the Japans, as they call it. And
well, we love Shogun. We want to hear about your trip. Let's cue the music first.
Let's drop the music.
Demoted.
All right, your Portugal trip.
We're back with Demoted. We're going to talk about my Portugal trip. We're going to talk about work stuff too, but I can't spend 10 days in Portugal and not just talk about it.
No, let's give them the agenda first so that we know it's not going to be just an hour of you speaking on Portugal.
That's true, it won't be.
We're going to get into some LinkedIn cringe.
Yes.
There was a big moment that occurred while you were OOO.
Yeah.
That involved a proposal.
Yeah, but I was still in on it.
We're going to need to talk about that.
Absolutely, well talk about it. We'll do promoted or demoted.
Yes.
And then we'll finish up with a little Dear Demoted.
Exactly.
As we always do.
We're just getting back into it. Ross is still kind of in that vacation mindset.
Yeah,
we got to take it slow with him.
Well, we did do a potentially emergency episode that I can't promise when the people will get it, but you did do one.
I recorded a solo app without you and I missed you terribly.
You did. It wasn't totally solo though.
It was with my roommate, actually.
Yes. Yep.
And what'd you think about that?
I mean, I thought it was great. My only complaint is some daintier butt cheeks were in my seat because I've lost the perfect formation that I had.
As if it was perfect. Please,
it was perfect. My back though.
He brought a little like travel
pillow behind me right now.
Behind you, yeah. I mean, he's pulling out all the stops. Okay, tell me about Portugal.
Not a hot take. Best European country there is.
Okay.
Not a hot take. Okay.
I was saying Ross and I go on vacations. We come back. We're like, we're moving there. Japan.
I'm fully ready to.
I'm fully ready.
I mean, Lisbon is basically San Francisco. They've got the same kind of Golden Gate Bridge thing. And this is not why I love San Francisco. There's actually a lot of reasons why I hate San Francisco, but they've got a Golden Gate Bridge, same architect, literally looks like the fucking Golden Gate Bridge.
I remember going, I was like, this
cable
is
cars.
So weird. Yeah, cable cars.
It's weird.
Who copied who?
I don't know. I didn't get the history. People were asking me which one came first. I honestly, I don't know.
Chicken or the egg?
Chicken or the egg. Red bridge.
Too soon to tell.
We were just informed the bridge in Lisbon came 30 years after the Golden Gate Bridge.
Which I know you guys were all on the edge of your seat wondering.
Yeah. Here's the thing about Portugal that I love. Okay. It's cheap. I was taking 35-minute Ubers for €4.
You did text our Demoted group text about the Uber prices like a few times.
Uber prices were incredible.
No one asked, but thank you.
Yep. Food is incredible. They've got so many Michelin star restaurants, which you don't have to go to Michelin star restaurants to get good food. Everything there is good. You're not worried about, is this going to make me sick? Is that going to make me sick? Can I drink the water?
Totally.
All the things that you might get worried about going to another country.
Where I went.
To Bali.
Bali belly.
Exactly. And the people were super cool. The driving, I rented a car. Driving was awesome. People would pass in the left lane and then immediately get out of it. So the left lane was always open, and it created this really nice flow of just like, you know, the douchebags in America, I'm just going to keep going fast in the left lane. It's like, no, dude, someone's like rolling up on you. Just get the fuck out of the way.
Okay, I love that.
It was so efficient.
Stupid question, you drive on the same side?
Same side, otherwise there's no way I'm renting a car.
Well, I could see you just like doing that.
No, I'm too scared.
You're so confident.
In fact, the first time I drove, I got the insurance. The second time I drove, I didn't. That's how confident I was.
Okay,
so I did Porto, Lisbon, Lagos, and one night at Douro Valley, which is their version of Napa. So they've got like a nice huge wine culture.
Love it.
Which is awesome. Port wine, that's where it originated.
Did you drink any red wine with your allergy?
I did, and I was all good.
You were good?
All good. I'm convinced it's all the pesticides and weird shit we put in stuff.
Ross has an allergy to the skin of red grapes.
Yeah, the skin, any edible fruit with edible skin.
If you thought he was like a powerful guy before.
Nothing takes me down like a cherry.
A little cherry? That'll kill him.
That'll kill me.
That'll pretty much kill him.
It won't kill me, but I will act like it's killing me.
We went on a double date one night and Becca's like, just so you know, Ross can't do any reds with edible skin. I'm like, okay.
And I was like, why did we just walk into a wine bar?
Yeah.
Like there's 100 bars around here. We just went to a wine bar.
Okay, sounds good.
I just like to complain. But anyway, I highly recommend it. I actually wrote out my whole itinerary. I've got like 40 locations, all these food, like all these spots. I went to 2 Michelin star restaurants, one of them being the number 25 restaurant in the world called Bel Canto. 17 courses, 3.5 hour experience.
Wow.
Was very good.
Were you like miserable at the end or was it incredible?
I was miserable at the end because I poorly budgeted my eating. Like I shouldn't have eaten beforehand.
Do you do the wine pairing?
I did not do the wine pairing. It was like, because we had a 1 o'clock res.
PM.
And I was convinced I was going to like work out afterwards.
What is wrong with you?
I don't know. I was dumb. It was dumb.
Why ruin a good thing?
I don't know. It was dumb. The next time I went to another 17 plate restaurant, I didn't make that mistake.
Okay.
I drank heavily.
Good.
I did a lot of drinking on this thing.
I mean, you have to. You're in Europe.
I mean, I came back just a little thicker than I was before. I'm just going to say that. I don't want to get toxic about it, but I was.
It's okay.
Yeah.
And we love that. We love seeing the skin on your buttons because they're struggling.
Bursting out. No one look at me.
No one look at me.
Anyway, we don't have to talk too much about that. But again, I do have a little pin story on my Instagram. If you're going to go to Portugal, I've got like all the best restaurants. I've got some excursions that you should probably hit.
What was it like being unplugged? I know we joked about you're out of office, but I feel like you've rarely stepped away. And at least the time that I've known you. Yeah.
It was great. It was, I did do a castle episode, a little castle.
I mean, you got to do, if you're in a castle, you got to film it, right?
Exactly. Like if I was on a ship, I would have done a pirate one. I would have done I'm
totally
dreaming of that.
Totally.
Of being a pirate.
It's too easy.
But it was great. And I think part of it was that I went in prepared. I spent like the week before just getting a bunch of content ready because like it kind of makes me depressed and stressed. It's the same thing in sales. Like when you're at quota, deals just keep happening. They keep coming because you're not stressed, you're relaxed, you're in flow state. Mm-hmm. I felt very similarly about this. Like I have content, it's good to go. I feel good about it. And I got 10 days to like relax and really kind of enjoy this place.
Good.
So it was tight.
And now he's a travel blogger. So check out the pin story.
Now I'm a travel blogger. Plus just spending time with my wife. God.
It's a good time.
God, it was good.
Oh, yeah.
It was good. Don't hurt me.
While you were out, I did the solo up.
Yep.
Actually did a virtual talk.
Yeah. Okay.
For 5,000 people.
That's a lot of people. Virtual, so it's not quite as scary, right? Do you like?
It wasn't. I love virtual because I'm in my bedroom.
Right.
I'm comfortable. What I think was I'm comfortable. I'm in my bedroom. All these things.
Yeah.
And then there was this live chat feed happening as I'm speaking.
Do you keep those up? See, whenever I do virtuals, I actually minimize it because I'm like, I don't want to see that shit.
So I minimize it, but Annie told me after, and she had all these videos. I was like, this is the worst thing to see after. I thought I did great. I'm like on a high. I'm like, how awesome was that?
You didn't do great.
I did fine, I think. But I think there was like a miscommunication with the audience of like who should come to this talk.
Sure.
It was very recruiting skewed, very like how to recruit Gen Z talent, how to retain them. And I think we had a lot of like millennial boomer people who were like, I don't care about this.
Ooh.
Oh, okay.
Culture clash.
I'm so sorry. I have what?
Oh,
okay.
God.
So there was a weird culture clash and there was a big debate happening in the chat of it's so inappropriate that she has her bed in the background of her Zoom. Like how weird is that? That's so unprofessional. I'm so distracted by her bed.
What?
Hang on. Does anyone want to pay for my second office space in San Francisco for $4,000 a month?
Where are these people like tuning in from? Their
what
kitchens,
do you mean?
Their offices? Did they go to the office to then virtual?
So everyone tuned in has a full home office with a beautiful background setup. I'm so sorry that I can't really swing that right now at 27.
Have you like considered not being poor?
No, literally. Why am I being flamed for this? It was such an odd debate. And then someone was like, this is why millennial and Gen Z will never agree. Just got really heated in the comments.
And you're just like,
and I didn't see it. I didn't see it. Thank God. I was like, I'm so sorry.
That would have been stressful.
I got so many nice messages though after. Like there were definitely some people who loved it, but some people who hated it.
Normal people.
And that's okay.
And there's always gonna be some haters.
We can't please everyone.
5,000 people, there's bound to be a hater too.
Speaking of haters, there was a lot of controversy around a recent LinkedIn post.
Yeah, LinkedIn has been coming to the forefront of news recently as it kind of grows as a content platform.
And Ross is always, I mean, even from Lisbon, ear to the ground.
I can't not.
On what's happening on LinkedIn. I can't
not. I got LinkedIn mobile on my phone. I am browsing.
And this has been like very deeply memed. I've seen it across all channels.
It hit the mainstream.
This one hit the mainstream. And I'm going to read what the top of this post said.
Please do.
I proposed to my girlfriend this weekend, ring emoji. And here's what it taught me about B2B sales.
And of course, then there's the picture of him proposing to his girlfriend.
Picture of him on the beach. She's in a white dress. He's kneeling, proposing.
He's proposing.
Then we proceed to get into a 7-point dissertation on the connections between this proposal and your personal life to B2B sales.
Of course, as everyone does.
And Ross, give me some of the highlights. Let's go through this.
Well, as you mentioned, it was 7 points. He talks about, basically he takes all of the buzzwords from sales and then applies them to dating, which, by the way, a totally fair comparison to compare like dating and sales. Like it is a sales pitch in a lot of ways. Like, but you don't have to do it for your engagement. You don't have to put it on LinkedIn.
When I'm actually dating a guy, I would prefer him to not call it prospecting.
That's fair.
If that's okay.
That's fair.
I would like it to just be that we're dating, but it can also be considered prospecting and discovery.
Right, the discovery phase. So he says doing deep discovery is critical. That's true. Understanding and calculating ROI is crucial in this early stage. So a relationship is an investment in a lot of ways, but I'd probably prefer not to be thought of like, am I delivering ROI as a human?
Well, so I was just reading this from the girl's perspective. Of course, like you have to identify with one character, and I'm identifying with her, picturing this exciting moment in my life, and then my now fiance takes to LinkedIn and writes, prospecting. Not every prospect or partner will be the right fit. Identifying the right fit takes time. You can't be afraid to say no to find the right person and know they will value and offer the most.
Right. And I just couldn't help but reading this line where he says, showing your product to potential buyers is essential. Now, what is the product we're referring to here? Because
this is in the demo stage, of course, when you're demoing your potential partner to the world.
Right. Take a look at my product. What do you think?
What do you mean?
What do you mean?
Right. So I'm like a little concerned because what do you mean you're demoing her to the world and accepting feedback? And
well, I think he's demoing himself. Let's just hypothetically say this is sexual.
I was thinking the product was in fact his now fiance.
No, in this case, I think he's saying demo his own product, his wiener, to her and decide if that's so showing your product to potential buyers is essential. His product to potential buyers, his fiance.
You think the fiance is a potential buyer?
She was the potential buyer.
Okay.
Ideally include a trial so that
they can see the product.
So they can try the product and get a feel for it. He is the product, or a piece of him is the product here.
A piece of him.
A piece of it. Could be all of them. I'm not here to speculate. It could be an absolutely girthy product. It also could not be.
So if in fact this product, as you're saying, is your downstairs region and you're testing it out,
right?
How important is it to keep that space trimmed up?
Well, Natalie, I'm glad you bring that up.
You are?
I'm glad. You know why?
Why?
Because this is a perfect segue into our first ever sponsor on Demoted.
We're partnering with Manscaped, baby! Woo!
Boom. Let's just talk about, okay, first of all, thank you to Manscaped for being a real one.
Thank you to Manscaped. I'll just hold this right here so you can see the whole package.
Just look at not like that, but it is the whole package, so to speak.
Exactly.
Okay? Full on confesh. I'm just going to say it. I'm a manscaper, okay? And I'm gonna be honest because that's what this pod's all about. This pod is all about honesty.
I love your honesty. I love your integrity. Thank you for being honest with us.
Yeah, and for better or worse, we come from the technology world, right? And I guess I never really considered how manscaping technology has grown over the years.
Totally.
Like I'm that guy, you know those like nose hair clip, like scissors.
I don't personally, but I know you're very familiar with those.
You know, like when they cut bonsai trees, how they're so meticulous.
Totally.
That was me.
Yep.
That was me. And I'm like out there, I'm like trying to carve a perfect labyrinth. You know, those head
spiral
corn mazes.
Yep.
I'm a big corn maze guy.
You like experimenting.
I love experimenting. And okay, it used to take me so friggin' long, but
exhausting.
Not anymore, fam. Wait, like ASMR. What do you think of that?
How you guys like that?
You guys like that?
How you guys like that?
You guys like that, don't you?
Wow.
This is the Lawnmower 5.0.
Oh my! Tell me more.
I'm glad you said tell me more.
Mine's still in the package. I haven't gotten to trimming yet.
Oh, I would kid in the candy shop. As soon as I got it, my pants were on the ground. I was in the kitchen. My wife was like, "Can you not?" And I was like, "You're right.
You're right. I shouldn't do this here.
I shouldn't do this here.
I have to."
She didn't, but a few things I have to bring up. Waterproof. Okay, so do it in the shower. That's where I ended up going.
Love that.
Went to the shower.
Becca was like, get out of the kitchen, go into the shower.
Go into the shower. Reduces the risk of nicks. If you've ever nicked the homies, which I know you haven't, it's bad, dude.
Reach out to contact@Demoted Podcast if you ever nicked the homies.
Let us know if you nicked the homies, okay? Because it is bad. But this guy...
nicks here.
No nicks here.
No nicks here.
No, I can't guarantee that because if you're irresponsible,
totally.
if you go crazy with this thing.
If you're a bad trimmer. That's on the user.
And you use poor technique, that's user error.
Yep.
That's user error. But anyway, reduces the risks of grooming accidents. I can't believe that this technology exists because, I mean, of course it does. Now it does. It's been years. I've been weed whacking for God knows how long with the same old tools.
I mean, you had to refresh. And for you, it grows back in about a day, right? So thank God you have this on tap.
Okay, no. First of all, no. Anyways, for all my bros out there who are big manscapers and who just believe in keeping it tight down there.
Keeping it light and tight.
Lawnmower 5.0 Ultra, baby.
Thank you so much for that personal narrative.
No, we're talking about demoing product.
No, that's amazing. And speaking of, I'm just going to close the loop here. Yeah. You can get 20% off plus free shipping with code Demoted on manscaped.com.
So Manscaped, thank you for being our first sponsor. You're a real one.
Thank you so much. And for the best your boys have ever looked, trust Manscaped.
Your homies will thank you.
Absolutely.
So, in the vein of all of that, pun intended.
Totally.
Back to B2B sales.
Let's get back.
Because why would we not transition that horribly back to B2B sales?
Let's get back to B2B sales.
We know this guy was demoing his product. I think just to close this loop as well, my favorite part of the whole thing after all 7, he goes, follow for more tips.
Well, because now he's a LinkedIn influencer.
Now he's an influencer.
Totally.
But again, another entendre with the tips. Right? Right? I mean, I'm just saying there's a lot of innuendos here.
I didn't read this as sexually as you read it, and I'm so glad we got to dissect this together.
I was biting my lip as I read it.
You were licking your upper lip.
I was licking it.
Yep. And just for the 7, just so we know, because in case you're proposing and thinking, and you work in B2B sales, prospecting, discovery, demo, pricing, negotiations, handling objections, of course with a baseball emoji, and closing. So
thanks to this fellow who really brought LinkedIn Cringe to the forefront. Here's the truth. LinkedIn Cringe has been going on for so long. I'm a boomer of this platform. I have been seeing sales guys being like, close the biggest deal of my life last week, and it's a picture of them kneeling. This is not the first.
Stop.
This is actually crazy that this is the one that went like batshit viral.
Do you think sales particularly is like the OG LinkedIn influencer? Because they're prospecting using the platform.
Totally. That's why. I mean, it's just salespeople and recruiters who are on the platform all day. So they're the ones who are using it like on an otherwise it's just like a resume thing for most people.
Yep.
You know, so it's like, it's so funny to see that this is now like the reason this got big is there's a subreddit on the website Reddit called LinkedIn Lunatics, where they take screenshots of things from LinkedIn and put them on there. And then people just roast them.
Oh, that's good.
So it kind of blew up there. Then it got picked up by some meme accounts, and then it just became like a full-on like.
I want to say I saw it on Complex. Like I'm not even sure. It's so big.
Seriously, it's so big. But it's just funny that this is like now, LinkedIn as a platform is becoming mainstream.
Yeah. So what do you think about the future of LinkedIn as someone who's been in it for so long? You actually have 2 platforms.
Well, yeah. So I mean, that's like kind of a funny story. So for those who don't know, I was banned on LinkedIn in 2019. I started doing the LinkedIn thing in about 2016. I had a profile, the name Corporate Bro. The only job title was slave to the man since I was born. And then there were a few other like random jokes. It was obviously very a joke, like silly profile.
It was a character. It was like a
character
meme page.
Profile.
Yeah, totally.
And so one day on a random Friday in 2019, I get your account has been banned. You know, it's the classic like fire people on a Friday.
And how many followers do you have at this point?
I had like 70,000 or something. And I lost my shit. I was in like actually Park City, Utah at the time. I was like, this is so typical. Like if they're going to fire someone, they're going to do it on Friday because what? I'm going to cool off over the weekend? Dog, I'm not going to cool off.
You're like, I need a drink. Oh, wait, I'm in Utah. I can't get one.
I'm in Utah. This is 2%. I'm going to need 100 of these. I'm going to need 100 of these to get drunk. And so it became this whole thing. Like I took obviously to Instagram and I was like, WTF, mate. Like what's going on here? I had a bunch
Ross starts a trending hashtag.
I did FREECORPORATE. Hashtag FREECORPORATE.
Of course, yeah.
So I get news back that it was because I'm quote unquote not a real person.
Yeah.
And so my plan was I was going to take a sign. I was going to march down to LinkedIn headquarters down the street here and just pick it by myself.
Dude with sign.
Am I real now?
Yeah.
Am I real now? And, a ton of LinkedIn sales folk follow me. And so they were like going internally, they were fighting for me. It was like a whole thing. And long story short, I got to the top of their customer service team. We're like, we're sorry. This is like our rule. This is our rule. You're not a real person. You can restart as a company page.
Oh, I could restart.
Oh, I could restart.
Oh, perfect. I have 70,000 followers. Let me just restart.
And I had these groups with like templates and like resources. I had like a whole resources like group that was gone. All of it gone.
No, you can restart.
Agree to agree.
Wait, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Oh my God, I could start over.
I'm bringing joy to your platform and this is how you repay me.
Thank you so much. Okay.
The funny part though is, so 3 years later, dear Ross, we'd love to have you as part of our creator program. I'm sorry. Oh, you care about creators now. That's so interesting.
And that was right when I joined.
That was right when you joined.
And I remember having a bit of a battle over the character profile, but then they were like, oh, it's fine. We can get it. We can make it as a business page or whatever.
Yeah.
No problem for me.
No, well, I'll just go fuck myself.
Totally. I'm
so that's
sorry.
why I have 2 LinkedIns. That's why I have my Ross Pomerantz one and my corporate bro one. And so it's just fun. It's just all that to say that's like more of a testament of where LinkedIn's going. LinkedIn got bought by Microsoft. You're starting to see this interesting culture clash of the boomers, the old heads are like, this is strictly a professional website. Like this is not. And you got like the Gen Zers who are doing arg matey in their OOO messages.
Totally.
So apparently Becca has just dug up my my rage post about me getting banned on LinkedIn.
And sometimes I hear, even when we almost got canceled and you were ready to take to LinkedIn with a post, the way you just so clearly and angrily lay things out is hilarious. You're such a boomer.
I'm such a boomer about it. But that's because the savages ride at dawn.
Okay.
The savages will ride for me, and that's why I love them. Because they're ready to burn shit down.
So this is Ross's post 5 years ago.
Oh my God.
Once again, at LinkedIn has removed (archived) one of my posts without any notification or any explanation. You know Gary V to swear frequently and allow Oleg V to post fake stories about hugging employees and sleeping at their desks? If you can't discern parody, you have a bigger problem.
Yep.
This censorship is outrageous. You can't tell me comedy has no place here. It's 2019. Get off your high horse and quit hiding behind the guise of professional. Professional might as well be synonym for fake. I live in the real world. We laugh here. Can we discuss this, please? Corporate. P.S. You removed my group and my personal page already. Let me live. #FreeCorporate.
Woo!
You are insane. You are insane.
God. That was just a post too. That wasn't my whole I have a whole Instagram post. I'll serve.
Ross started
we'll
a free corporate Instagram page. Sorry, it's probably floating around somewhere.
It's somewhere.
God, you're insane.
It's somewhere out.
That's very good lore.
Yeah, someone actually went to the LinkedIn office in New York or something, was holding up a sign that said "Free Corporate," and they sent me a picture of it. I was absolutely moved.
That's why when I say you have actual the savages will ride at dawn with you.
That's what I'm saying.
It's true. If something really bad happened to you, there would be at least 50 dudes showing up to your house, a small militia.
Oh my God. Yeah. Don't fuck with us.
No, don't. I do think this is an interesting conversation about the future of LinkedIn.
Yes.
I would love to I would love to read your archive post.
We shouldn't do that.
I do think there is a part of LinkedIn that I do value, which is that they're real people.
Yes.
And not to say that you should have been banned, of course, everything you said is true. But I like that when someone comes to say something or comes forward, people are fact checking who that person is, where they work, their resume, is what they're saying legitimate?
Yep.
And it brings a bit of legitimacy to the page.
100%.
And I actually enjoy that. I think when we went through our, cancellation period over, we were like, do you want to look where this guy works? He doesn't work for us. Someone claimed to be our employee and was just writing with it.
Well, the number one fact-checkable thing was LinkedIn. Yeah. LinkedIn was the source of truth.
So I do think it is a bit of a source of truth. And I think we're seeing things happening on the platform that are, whether it's Gen Z speaking out against the big man or however this looks in different ways. We saw the 6 Cents the fiasco happened this past week. If you want to explain that briefly.
Yeah. I mean, long story short, there's a LinkedIn. LinkedIn is becoming very TMZ in a lot of ways.
Totally.
But there was this company called 6 Cents, tech company, doesn't matter. There's a competitive CEO who bought 6 Cents product and then picked it apart, talked shit about the contract, kind of fabricated some details, received a cease and desist from 6 Cents. He kind of jumped on this. There's a lot of negative sentiment about 6 Cents, warranted probably, but he
he got hundreds of thousands of eyeballs on him for basically like poking the bear. And then at the end would be like, and also you can get my subscription for free.
Yeah, by the way, I'm dropping my new release of my competitive product below, and which is, a lot of people like actually had a pretty good discussion about it, which I liked. I appreciate. Normally in like Instagram or TikTok, she's like, fuck you, piece of shit, fuck you.
Totally. Like, we all agree on one thing to attack on other platforms. Like, and here it's like discourse. Right? Yeah.
Right. But in this one, there was actually a lot of people going back at the guy who posted it being like, dude, this is so clearly like you just trying to like build up hype for your own thing, for you trying to like pick these people apart who, by the way, there's real people who work there who have jobs. Like you're trying to like take down this company, which like I get from like the whole metaphorical standpoint of fuck the man, but like these are real people with real jobs who aren't trying to screw people over. And you have nothing to lose, which is an interesting place to be when it's David versus Goliath and David's can say, do whatever, play by no rules. Mm-hmm. It's just like an interesting dichotomy. And like
you said earlier before we recorded how LinkedIn is an interesting culture clash. Yeah. Can you speak to that?
Well, I think it's kind of what you said. It's like you've got Gen Z who are coming up now who are totally cool with bashing employers publicly.
No shame
at all.
I was laid off, put on a PIP. Here's why it sucks.
Yeah. By the way, I'm suing the company for XYZ
reason. Yeah.
And it's not to say it's a bad thing. I go back and forth and I'm like, I need to like challenge my own beliefs. I'm like, I would never say something publicly about, one of my former employers. That's just like burning bridges. But like you're finding these people are getting jobs still because it's transparency, it's honesty. It's like, why are we so conditioned to defend companies who like wouldn't defend us in the opposite position? But you've got like, I understand, like it's just an interesting multiple schools of thought. The older people being like, this is a professional platform. Like you can't talk like that. You can't do things like that, which again, you can see in my little archive post. I'm like, I don't believe in professional. I believe in being a good human.
Yep.
But I think this idea of being professional is being fake.
I totally agree. And I think we're seeing LinkedIn actually take steps in that direction of they're creating a beta video feed program. Yep. They're putting, like Instagram, TikTok, an algorithmic feed where you can see video content and really promoting that video content.
Which is, for those who don't know, there's a beta program of it going on. There's only a few. I'm sure there's many thousands of people in it who are piloting. We're both part of that test. So it looks very TikTok-ish for better or worse. And we all know how we feel about TikTok. And I could go off on TikTok and those things, but there's no denying the way people consume video content now.
Yeah,
that's just how they do it.
I totally agree. And I think it's a platform that anyone can be like an influencer or a creator. Your job, you do 40 hours a week. It's so easy to talk about. I mean, like Corporate Natalie and Corporate Bro started. If you're a subject matter expert or you have something to say about your job, like LinkedIn makes it so easy to just go out and make a post.
Right. And the shift that we're seeing towards people blending personal and work, because a lot of people are working from home. Like work is now interwoven into life. They're not so siloed anymore, especially the people who are working at home versus an office. Like totally. It is combined.
I just went through a breakup and here's what it taught me about B2B sales.
Yeah. I mean, maybe, we don't have to go down there. There's a lot of shitty things going on, but like even agencies are popping up, right?
Yep. Creator Authority. I just joined as an advisor actually. Yeah. And it's just a LinkedIn specific ad agency. Yep. Bringing these like micro creators to light to promote B2B products. Right. Yeah.
And like for me, I don't know how you do it. I charge the most for my LinkedIn.
Yes.
Because that's an audience that I can like identify. Those are, like you said, they're real people. These are decisions. These are, if you're trying to push a B2B product, why not be where B2B professionals are thinking about B2B things?
Totally.
Like the value of a single person on there is much higher than some like TikTok user 4569210 0 profile.
How do we know
0 people? Who are they?
How do we know what they want, what they like?
Right.
LinkedIn, you can see all of that.
So like it or not, this is the direction LinkedIn's going. It's going to make for a really interesting next few years as we sort of figure out what is the culture of right and wrong on LinkedIn. You're going to get these cringy posts. You're going to get a lot of dumb shit on LinkedIn and a lot of things that like, it is what it is now.
We'll see. People like the drama.
People like the drama.
We like the drama.
And if you have any drama on LinkedIn, tag us, tag the Demoted podcast, tag Corporate Natalie, Corporate Bro, Ross.
Anything. We got a lot of LinkedIn platforms here.
We got a lot of LinkedIn platforms. So let us in on the know and we'll try to dissect it here if it's worth dissecting.
Let's talk about the cringiest things you could possibly do on LinkedIn.
Yeah, we're on that train.
We've seen it.
So let's beat a dead horse and go back and forth on the cringiest things you can do on LinkedIn.
Here are the cringiest things you can do on LinkedIn. Ross, kick us off.
Sure. Post all personal life updates. Bonus points if you can connect it to B2B SaaS.
Absolutely. We've seen it firsthand. Make sure to say, I'm humbled and honored in every post you make.
Mm-hmm. I am humbled and honored to accept this position as a senior account executive.
Yep, exactly.
How could you not be?
How could you not be?
Comment, quote, interesting post, exclamation, on every single post you see in your feed.
Like a bot.
Like a bot.
Everything you see, comment.
comment, interesting post, exclamation.
Put yourself out there. If you presented in a team meeting, even if internal, even if only once, make sure to put keynote speaker in your LinkedIn bio.
Well, you are. I see no lie.
I see no lie there.
If you previously worked at a well-known company, make sure to put that in your headline. For instance, ex-Google or ex-McKinsey.
Not now, but I wanted you to know I did in a past life.
I used to.
Keep your GPA in your LinkedIn. People really care about that in your 30s.
They really do.
Yeah.
It matters.
It matters. At 4.0 in high school.
Fire. I got to hire this person to be my CEO.
Menlo Atherton High School.
Yeah.
Thank God. I'm glad we know that.
Yeah. Connect with as many people as possible. And as soon as they accept your connection, hit them with a sales pitch. We call that pitch slapping.
Pitch slap. Right in the face.
Yep. Right in the face.
Oh, you accepted? Well, I have something to tell you.
Yep.
Use LinkedIn as a dating platform. There's nothing women like more than getting hit on in their LinkedIn DMs.
God, they love it.
It's so hot.
If you want to hit me up too with that.
Totally.
Whatever.
Open DMs.
Open DMs.
Whatever you guys want.
Hit me up. Use inspirational quotes because we can all use life advice from Confucius from 551 BC.
Absolutely. 551. That is when he was born.
Good year for Pinos.
And put the quote over a picture of a mountain.
Yes, or like an ocean, vast ocean.
We love to
really
see that.
Really hits harder when you've got those like beautiful
And that applies to
scenes.
our life today. You know,
I think it does.
550 BCE, 2025.
All the same.
So don't do any of that.
Don't do any of that.
We might do it.
We might do it, but it's parody. If it's clearly parody,
it's
that's
playful.
fine.
We're staying playful together.
Okay, so that's our little beating of a dead horse. Let's shift to promoted, demoted.
Our favorite segment.
Our favorite segment.
Tried and true. Do we like it? Do we not like it?
Mm-hmm.
Ross, I will kick it off with emojis in LinkedIn name or title.
Overuse of it is bad. Here's the reason people do use it. See, I used to be like instant demote, but a lot of people use automation software.
Yep.
And so if someone says hi first name and you've got an emoji in your first name, it will automatically pull in that emoji. So someone can tell if you're using automation software.
Okay.
So in that regard, I'm going to promote it. But if people put them all over their profile, there's a bunch of emojis, demote.
I'm anti-emoji.
Yeah.
I'm not the decision maker who's getting pitched every day.
Right.
It's too much.
It's too much.
Why are you using like a little chick emoji to show like growth?
I don't know.
Please.
It's kind of cringe to me.
I know what the word means. I don't need a accompanying emoji.
Oh shit. Oh, grow because it hatched into a chicken.
Well, he used the money emoji, so he's talking about sales numbers and revenue.
Yeah.
Okay.
Naturally.
Noted.
I just got a shrimp alert. Shrimp
alert.
Shrimp alert, everyone.
Okay.
I was shrimping. Pashtenata.
Pashtenata. You tell me.
So that is a little tiny pastry, little custard cake from Portugal. It's their famous little like.
How many little custard cakes did you slurp up these past 10 days?
I slurped many a custard cake.
Because I'm seeing the custard cake in your face. You're carrying it well.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
I will be throwing myself out of this building here in a moment, but no, I will. I've hit Peloton back-to-back days right now. I'm going to ride this through. Of course, that I'm going to LA and then I'm going to fucking Minneapolis. Yay! So yes, the pastanatas are sticking around for a little bit. Okay. But they're so good. If you go, you got to get them. Okay. Hard promote.
Promoted or demoted, LinkedIn connection limit. So there's a 30,000 limit on the connections you can have on LinkedIn.
You can have more followers than that. You can follow people, but connections. I mean, yeah, I like, it's kind of silly because I don't know how it factors into like the algorithm. I'm assuming connections are technically supposed to be closer relationships, but I barely know 100 people.
I don't know 50 people.
Right. So why?
Please cap that.
Yeah.
I would not like 30,000 people to know me intimately.
Yeah, I don't think anybody knows 30,000 people close enough.
And that means they can message you. Like, what is the connection there?
Yes, it means they can like message you freely without paying whatever you're using LinkedIn Premium.
Okay.
I think it means they're more likely to see any of your posts as well.
I'm gonna promote the connection limit.
I'm gonna promote it too.
Okay.
Actually, I used to be a hater. But then they introduced following, so it was like you weren't just stuck at 30,000.
These like serial networkers who were like, I wish it was 50,000.
Yeah, I know. Just like literally going down a list and just pressing.
You don't know any of these people. Connect. Please.
Hi, Ross. I'd like to add you to my LinkedIn network.
How many connections do you have?
Well, I mean, I have the 30,000 limit.
Yeah, because you would just accept. Because I accept random people sometimes now.
Yeah, well, they also like for a while, like they just didn't like that was the only way to connect with someone. They didn't have follows.
Oh, got it.
So they later added followers.
Creator.
Yeah, like that was just like you just accepted everyone because that meant that was the equivalent of a follower.
Noted.
Promoted, demoted, making your iPhones kiss to pass contact info.
If you haven't made iPhones kiss,
what are you doing?
It buzzes. It gives a little buzz.
It's like a weird
when you put the tops of your iPhones together. It's a weird buzz, and like this beam of light streams down both phones.
What's kind of weird about it to me is they really wanted to create the feeling of an orgasm.
No, it feels more intimate sometimes than a kiss.
It like buzz starts at the bottom of the phone and then goes to the top and kind of like, oh!
No, literally.
It does.
If I was doing that with a stranger at a conference, I'd be like, so are we married? Like, what are we? I'd be like, what are we?
Did you come too, babe?
Yeah.
Was that good for you too, babe?
That was incredible. Wow. Best 2 seconds of my life.
Best 2 seconds of my life.
I'm going to promote it. It's such a strange new feature. Is that only with the new phones?
Yeah. It's definitely new, like in the recent update. Maybe the old phones.
I recently did that though. Have you ever had this happen where you take a fan takes a photo with you, but you do it on your phone?
No. No. I'm like, why would I do that?
I was speaking and this guy asked for a photo. He didn't take his phone out. I feel so awkward. I'm like, for sure. I literally don't know. I'm like, is this guy famous or something? I'm like, sure. So I'll grab, my phone. Perfect. My phone.
I got a phone right here.
We take the photo on my phone. He's like, wait, can I have that? I'm like, sure. We kiss phones. Can you take your phone out if you're asking for a picture with me?
Tell me the picture on your phone.
Of course, we put it here. I have
okay, share it. Yeah. You and jabroni. You and random jabroni.
Me and random dude kept it on my phone.
Love that.
What am I going to do with this?
I don't know. Put it in favorites.
So we're promoting. All right. Promoted or demoted 17 course meals.
I did 2 of those. We've talked about it. I'm showing. I loved it.
Have you ever been to French Laundry?
No.
I'm going for Bottle Rock.
When is Bottle Rock? It's like 6-month wait list to get into.
It's
French.
In like a month, but we waited.
You
booked
had
it a year ago.
Yeah. Exactly. Like that's just. I mean, you're going for the experience. You know, like you're getting these tiny little morsels. It is a long deal. You know, like the ones I went to were 3.5 hours.
The fear is when they tell you how to eat it. Not only what it is, but how to eat it. They're like, here's a cup of sea moss. You actually snort it and inhale it, and it just flies down the back of your nose. Right. And make sure to get both nostrils.
I'll do anything, though.
Totally. I'll try anything once.
Because they've spent so long on this. It's like, it has to be at least pretty good. We ate barnacles.
I tried that
Portugal.
in Japan. So the orange.
These are like black and white kind of. Well, no, I mean, these were obviously dressed up like in some like special
Was it
Michelin
so
star
chewy?
way. So I expected to be. It wasn't bad. I was like, that's the only capacity I'll ever have, because this was like a top 25 restaurant in the world. Of course, it's going to be good.
I'll eat anything. They put. They're like, this is mud.
Barnacles outside, never going to touch them.
Never
going to touch them. And
but in this experience, of course.
I'm going to do it. Now, I would still say it was like a 6.5 out of 10. It was like tolerable. I didn't want any more than I got. My little morsels.
You weren't thirsting for more.
I wasn't thirsting for more barnacles.
Did Becca finish her barnacles, or did you have to polish off hers as well?
She didn't finish her barnacles.
I just went to a tasting menu.
Shut up and you finish your barnacles.
You eat your barnacles. And they brought out oysters, and I don't like oysters. I don't eat
like
them.
Oysters.
I know, strange.
You don't like slurping those boogers?
And I told them, I'm like, I actually don't eat oysters. Like, no need to bring mine. They're like, okay, I'm not gonna tell the chef.
Yeah, totally.
What to bring out. Like, imagine me saying that, and then it's still sitting there.
Yeah.
And she comes, she's like, so are you not gonna eat this?
Yeah, literally,
bitch.
We came to the end. We were like in meal 15 or whatever. Moment. They called them moments. Moment 15.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, you don't like it? And I was like,
are you not going to finish that?
No, like we are just so full.
You might as well pull out a gun and shoot me.
Literally, they're smiling and it just goes.
They're like, should I tell the chef that you hate it? Should I go tell chef that?
It's funny because this is supposed to represent the chef's childhood. When he used to grow up in this region where they made this thing, and that makes him think of his grandma. So
you're going to leave it on the plate?
And I just I'm so full.
Good. All right, let's transition into Dear Demoted, where our favorite motorheads, D-gang, motors, reach out to us for some advice.
Yep. Dear Demoted. True story. I mean, and by the way, I assume these are true stories. Please don't send us fake stories.
We actually want to read like real things that have happened to you. So thank you for the preface.
That should go without saying. Okay. If someone in the workplace brings up the fact that they are in a cult upon your first interaction, is it HR/workplace acceptable to implore about the cult life in future combos?
Absolutely.
If they're going to put it out there, you're going to use it.
I have a million questions.
Yeah.
What is the cult? Is there bloodletting?
Right.
What do you do there?
Exactly.
Have there been any sacrifices, human or animal?
I think you're asking important questions. All questions that are totally valid because they brought it up.
Hey, did you finish that slide on KRIs? Also,
by the way,
have you killed anyone?
Right.
In your cult?
Have you been drinking any blood lately? What's your favorite kind of blood?
What do you guys do?
Yeah.
Do you know anyone in a cult?
I don't.
I don't either.
Will they admit it? I don't know.
I live the least interesting life, I guess.
Would anybody call it a cult if they're in one? Or is it like a group?
Maybe
you know
they
what I mean? Like,
say
is cult
group
a dirty
and like,
word?
I think cult's a dirty word. I don't think cult members say like wear that with a badge of honor.
Yeah.
And if any of you are in a cult and you're listening, like please contact @demotedpodcast.com.
Let us know.
We want to know.
I mean, in a lot of ways, the Motorheads are a cult.
They are.
I don't know if they'd go out and say that, hey, we're Motorheads, we're cultish.
I don't know if anyone would say, hey, I'm a Motorhead.
Yeah, I don't know.
Cultish Motorhead.
Shout out to all my cultish Motorheads.
So love you guys. And anyone whose coworker admits to them openly that they're in a cult, I think you have fair game to comment, ask questions, bring it up.
To like, comment, and subscribe on their cult.
And don't bring it up every convo. Like slip it in at lunchtime.
Yeah.
Right? Playfully, tastefully.
Unless they're like really open and honest and like really seem to light up about talking about their cult.
Totally.
Go all in.
Bring them a little joy.
Yeah.
Promoted.
Yeah. So did you get up to anything with the cult this weekend?
What'd you guys do? All right. Next, Dear Demoted. Dear Demoted, question on what should I do?
God, I love the way people write.
Perfect. I work at a big tech with good comp package, good culture, but I've been selling the same product for 6 years, same problems, same, and no possibility to change to another area or get a promotion because I'm already top tier. What do I do?
First of all, and I'm sorry, and I love roasting the Motorheads, but this is just clearly a sale. I mean, we knew that because they literally talk about how they're in sales, but I knew that from the second they wrote question on what should I do. Question on what should I do?
I feel like we can't roast them.
Yes, we can. We can roast them.
Okay.
Yeah, salespeople get roasted all day long. I love you guys.
Ross is going to roast you.
God damn. Damn, you break my heart. But it's a fair question. It's a great question.
It's a fair question. And I'm going to let Ross answer as kind of the sales extraordinaire. Explain the 2 tracks of sales. So I asked Ross before this when we were reviewing this, like, what do you mean you can't continue to go up? Like, isn't there like a VP level? Isn't there a level above account executive? What happens next? Yeah.
So there's basically effectively 2 tracks in sales, and you can kind of like peek at the one where this person is, but you make a lot more money. So there's this phrase called carrying the bag. That means you carry a quota. You're an individual sales rep. You are on a team of other sales reps, and you have a manager, right? So you're not in management. All your job is to just close. The highest level is usually called enterprise account executive. It means you work with the biggest companies. So you're selling like Fortune 500 big ass companies. There's no companies bigger. Those folks make the most money in sales. But there's a lot of stress, right? Like you are carrying the bag. You're responsible for a quota every quarter. It's like it.
And you personally have a quota, like
it is
as
your
a
quota.
55-year-old. Like you never graduate from having a quota.
Correct. You never graduate from.
You're
having
always
a quota.
Carrying the bag.
Yes, you're always carrying the bag, and that's why there are like older sales reps who are making millions and millions of dollars. What happens to a lot of folks is they're like, I don't really want to do this anymore. I'd rather manage a team. So your base salary goes up a little bit, and your earning capacity comes down tremendously because you're no longer selling. You're managing, you're reporting, you're like rolling the forecast up the chain and so forth. So going into management, a lot of people say no. A lot of sales reps who are true born lone wolf, sales savage sales reps do not want to go into management because it's all the bullshit. It's management.
And do AEs manage SDRs? Like,
no.
Technically, no.
No. So SDRs will have their own manager.
Okay.
I like to call those babysitters. But they're their own team. They may support an AE, but they are not managed by an AE. So there's like an interesting dichotomy. They don't.
The AE doesn't fill out the performance review.
No.
Okay.
They may get asked by their manager, like the SDR manager, like, hey, how's it working with so and so? But they are not responsible for
your performance review. They don't have time for that.
No.
They're carrying.
There's a collaborative relationship for sure, but yes, their job is just to go close business.
Got it.
So this person is basically saying, I'm at the peak of closing business, but they're saying, I've got a good comp package and a good culture. If you want to carry the bag forever, stay. Like
totally.
So many salespeople think they're the best because they're in a really good situation. Then they think the grass is greener. They can make more money elsewhere. And then they go there. They're in a shitty territory with worse culture, and it sucks.
And they still have a quota.
They still have a quota.
Yeah.
And now they're not hitting it. And there's nothing worse than that. So I say, if you don't want to transition to management, stay. Why not? You got a comfortable life. Like you're making a shitload of money.
Totally.
Get good at golf. Find other things that you enjoy. Like. And build around that. Like that's the reality. Like admittedly, that's why I wanted to leave sales. Because I agree. It depends on what you value. Or do you want the intellectual stimulation? Or can you keep
Or do you want a second home in Mexico?
Or do you want a second home in Mexico?
Right.
Exactly.
It's
like,
true.
You could pivot and go out into a different role and go lower, make less money and restart and chase that, which is totally fair. Like that's what happened to me. I was like, I need to find a way out of sales. I don't care about the money anymore. I just want to like learn more. That's not noble. That's just what it was.
Mm-hmm.
If this person is good with where they're at, making a bunch of money, it's just about figuring out what do you value? What type of life do you want?
And I want a second home in Mexico.
And I do not blame you.
Personally.
Yes.
Sorry.
I don't blame you. So
that was Dear Demoted.
That's Dear Demoted.
Thank you for that, Ross. That was super helpful and informative. I felt like I was sitting here in my little beanbag learning a lot.
I should have put on my
corpse plane.
I should have corpse planed it.
I know.
Damn it.
I appreciate it.
Shit. Well,
thank you for tuning in to this week's episode on Lisbon, Portugal, LinkedIn, Cringe, everything in between.
Some promoted, demoted, Dear Demoted, all the normal stuff as well.
Smash that subscribe button if you haven't already.
Please do. Please do. Leave a review if you haven't. You don't even need to leave words. You just click the 5 stars.
Get on out of there.
Get on out of there.
Tune in next week on
Demoted.
Demoted.